So we all know that paying extra towards your principal will save you a ton of money on interest and your loan will be paid off sooner. Sounds like a win-win, right? What if I told you that paying extra each month really isn't the best option for you? I'm Stephen Burns, and I help homebuyers get a mortgage without struggling with the overwhelming process of achieving homeownership. In today's video, we're going to talk about paying extra towards your mortgage each month and if it's really the right thing for you. So we're going to go over a few topics. How is your mortgage payment calculated? What does paying extra do? Reinvesting instead of paying extra. Should you pay extra? All right, so let's start with, how is your mortgage payment calculated? Your mortgage payment consists of principal and interest. There's also taxes and insurance that could be in your mortgage if it's impounded, but for the sake of this video, we're not going to worry about the taxes and insurance portion of your payments. Your loan is amortized based off of the original loan balance, the term of the loan, usually a 30-year mortgage, and the interest rate. This is what determines your principal and interest payment each month. On a fixed rate loan, the principal and interest payment remains fixed for the entire life of the loan. Means it does not change, it doesn't fluctuate. So that number, that dollar amount, is always going to be the same for the entire term of the loan. The amount going towards the interest portion of your payment each month is dependent on the balance of your loan. And as your balance decreases over the life of the loan, the interest portion of your payment also decreases. Therefore, the principal payment increases each month as your balance decreases. And since the balance of your loan is highest when you first start your loan, the interest portion of that payment is always going to be the highest on your first payment. And it's going to decrease slowly over time as your principal balance goes down. And here's an amortization schedule of some loan examples that we've used in the past. This is based off a $380,000 loan amount, 2.75% interest rate. All right, so what does paying extra towards your principal do? So paying extra towards your principal each month, that dollar amount above the minimum required principal and interest payment goes directly towards the balance of your loan, the principal of your loan. So if you're paying an extra $250 a month on top of your regular principal and interest payment, that $250 a month goes directly towards the balance, therefore reducing your balance faster than it traditionally would have. The benefit of paying that extra towards principal is that the following month, your interest portion of your principal and interest payment is going to be lower because it's based off of a lower loan balance. Therefore, a greater portion of your payment is going towards principal. Plus, you're paying the extra on top of it means you're rapidly paying more towards principal at a faster rate. Doing this each month will compound the interest savings that you have over the life of the loan and getting your loan paid off early. A great tool is an additional payment calculator on Bankrate.com that I'll include in the description below. This will let you calculate if you were to pay extra each month towards your principal balance, how fast and how much savings you'll have over the life of the loan. All right, so in this example, we're going to use Bankrate.com's additional mortgage payment calculator. And I'm going to include this link in the description below for you guys to use for yourself. But for this example, we're going to use the same examples we've been using before, which is a $400,000 purchase price using 5% down, and it's going to be a $380,000 loan. So same 2.75% interest rate that we've been using. And in this example, we are going to do $250 per month additional payment towards principal. So instead of the $1,551 a month of the regular principal and interest payment, it's going to be now $1,801 a month. And so with this additional payment over the life of the loan from day one, over 30 years, you're paying this extra, that's going to save you $38,652. And that's going to cut your mortgage down 5 years, 11 months. Your mortgage is going to be paid off almost 6 years early by just paying $250 a month in this example. So there's no denying that is pretty damn impressive when you compound that over 30 years. So we saw how much savings you can have if you just paid that $250 extra per month towards your principal. There's quite a bit of savings over the life of the loan. But let's try something different. What if you were to take that $250 a month from day one and invest it into the stock market? Well, the stock market since 1926 has averaged over 10% annual returns. And from 1957 to 2018, the S&P 500 averaged around 8% or so in returns. So let's just take a pretty conservative approach and use a 7% return. So here, we're gonna use this investment calculator, calculator.net. There's a ton of good calculators on there. Let's just say 30 years, 7% interest earnings, additional contribution of $250 per month. Well, you can see after 30 years, the ending balance with the amount you've put in plus the interest accrued is almost $300,000. You only put in $90,000. You've gained almost $205,000. So this is pretty phenomenal of what compound interest can do over a 30-year period. This is why it's so important to start putting money away into investments while you're young, into a retirement account. So that way, look, that's just $250 a month. Imagine if you did $1,000 a month, how much more this can get you, or more time. So if you look, you're going to obviously have quite a bit of money. Look at our amortization calculator and you go back to year 22. Well, you're starting at year 22 with your loan balance at $148,000, and by the end of year 22, you're at $133,000. Well, after 22 years, you're starting at $139,000, you're ending at $152,000. So sometime in year 22, you have the option that you could take this $150,000 or so, and you could pay off your mortgage early, much earlier than over here at year 24 years in 1 month. You could do it at year 22, sometime in year 22. So it just goes to show you the power of leverage when you are investing this kind of money. And the great thing about it is this is all liquid. You could tap into this if you're investing, if it's in a brokerage account, you could tap into this. But if you go over here, during this time frame of all these months, once it's in there, you're not gonna get it out very easily. It's gonna cost quite a bit of money to be able to get this out. So I just wanna show you, this is the impressive number I want you guys to focus on. Not right here, this 38,000, sure that's impressive, but 294,000 is a lot more impressive. And you're able to pay it off much earlier. So should you pay extra? As you can see in the example before, it doesn't make much sense to pay extra when you could build wealth faster by reinvesting. Remember, once you pay that extra towards your principal, there is no getting that money back unless you do a cash out refinance, do a home equity line of credit, or sell your home. And all those are very expensive options, and your interest rate could go up higher if you were to do the HELOC or the cash out refinance. So it's best to avoid that if you can. It's better to keep your assets liquid that's also making you money, but it doesn't incur a bunch of extra cost in order to get that money back into your pockets. And if you're really set on paying your mortgage off faster, here are 3 things that I really suggest you do before you even consider paying extra towards your mortgage. First, have at least 3 months of your income in an emergency reserve fund. Make sure all credit cards and high interest debt is paid. And lastly, invest at least 5% minimum of your gross income into retirement. Well, what if you are already doing these things? You already have savings, you already have no debt that's high interest, and you're already investing at least 5% into your retirement. Well, what I would suggest is, based on the numbers that we saw before, it makes more sense to have your wealth build faster by reinvesting, staying liquid, being able to pull that money back in your pocket in case of emergency, and build your wealth much faster than worrying about paying a loan that has a lower interest rate than the rate of inflation. But again, this is all up to you, but this is just my opinion, and I wanted to show you guys what the numbers look like because most people don't see this information. They don't understand how much of your monthly payment is going towards interest or how much faster your money can be appreciating by reinvesting things. So to cap this off, it really just doesn't make sense to focus on paying low interest debt when you can leverage that and build more wealth by reinvesting. Does this information help you decide if it makes sense for you to pay extra each month towards your principal, or are you going to choose to reinvest this money? Let me know down in the comments. Feel free to share and give this video a like.